Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
I was not looking for either crew member. Also, greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where last time we actually got Felix's side quest, which apparently requires us to kill somebody for his former gang member, leader guy. We're going to be talking to him.
Fine, I'll pay you back for all of it, with interest.
Nice one. You must have had him quaking in their heels.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad.
Yeah.
Pay you back with interest. I gotta remember that one.
Would have felt better if it had worked.
Wasn't gonna do it. Highly ineffective, but it sounded cool. So yeah, apparently he needs to kill somebody for his former friend, which definitely sounds sketchy. But we're gonna talk to Trask before we really worry about whether or not to end said person's life. We also finished off of Vicar Max's side quest, which, like, Vicar Max wanted us to translate a book for him. And we go to one person to translate the book, and he's like, no, I can't read French. And he sends us to another person. And so we go to this other person, and they're like, hey, take some drugs. And Max is like, yeah, I'll take some drugs. And then he's fine, and he doesn't care at all about the book at all. The book is, in theory, he's reading the book, or he's reading a book. But I suppose we're not really that interested in translating it now, but I suppose that's okay. Because the answers that he sought were not in a book, but in himself, all along. Right now at the Groundbreaker, apparently Trask's wife lives here. So in theory, I'll be able to talk to Trask's wife to track Trask down. Alright, so here is Rosanna, who looks like a younger version of Gladys.
You mind trying to have a moment here?
Are you Rosanna Trask?
Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something?
I'm looking for a guy by the name of Rufus Trask. I'm told he lived around here.
Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I'm on the level. You can ask Junlei. Let's show her Harlow's emblem. If you know where Trask is, you want to tell me.
That's Harlow's mark, no mistake. Guess he's not letting this one go. I don't want any manner of harm befalling Rufus. Not on my account.
Should I lie or should I intimidate? I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lay a finger on Trask, which might technically be true, because I don't use melee weapons.
We're not? Oh, right, yeah. We're non-violent sorts.
Thanks, Felix, for the backup there.
All right, you made your point. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know.
I've got a few more questions.
Please, just make it quick.
You and Trask split up? Harlow tells me Trask betrayed him. Do you know anything about that?
Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order.
He didn't tell you anything about Harlow?
No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I.
Little late for that, says I. Okay. You and Trask split up?
That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to.
Wait, you have to renew your marriage contract? Of course you have to renew your marriage contract. Everything costs money. So how much do you know about Harlow?
Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
Sounds familiar, Felix.
He must have been recruiting, gathering up his band of revolutionaries.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus.
Alright, that's all I wanted to know, and I'll leave you be.
Appreciate it. No offense meant. Just been a long day is all.
Considering all you have to do to earn a 5-minute break in this game, it probably has been a long day. Also, what is that, that line she said, reminiscent of? Okay, for some reason, I immediately forgot the line that I wanted to reference, so I reloaded the game so I could play through the dialogue again, so I could remember said line. And that is that whole last line she said in regards to revolutionaries. If a revolutionary is offering you something, if a revolutionary wants something from you, they're probably selling something, which is very reminiscent of the line from Princess Bride, which goes something like, life is suffering. Anybody who tells you any differently is probably selling something. Though, to be fair, in the world of the Outer Worlds, everybody's selling something. If it can be put for sale, it is. Even if it's renewable marriage licenses. Though, what would life be like if we had renewable marriage licenses? Would that lead to a highly increased divorce rate? Be like,
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
it would be like, hey, it would be less of a question of divorce and more of a matter of like, do you want to renew our marriage license? But then also, like, does property revert upon the expiration of marriage licenses?
I'm me, Felix Millstone.
No, that is just a story you've been building for yourself from a very young age.
There, see? You just said yourself. Yourself. Guess I got a self after all. Checkmate, preacher.
Check and mate.
Semantics and nothing more. The construction of our language assumes the existence of a self.
Whoa, slow down. What's this about construction work?
Our language has all manner of paradoxes contained within it. Tell me, what happens to your lap when you stand up?
What are you talking about? Max, you've been acting real funny ever since you and that homeless sniffed all them drugs. Maybe you ought to ask Ellie to take a look at your head.
It is true. Words themselves are basically just, by themselves don't necessarily have meaning. It is only in their context that they are given meaning. And clearly the lap stays with you vertically, as a dog might say. It'd be like, oh, just because you're standing does not mean I will try not to sit on said lap. But let us go to Emerald Vale. We've got 2 reasons to go here now. One for the vicar... the vicar's done. One for Felix, and one for Nyoka. So we might actually just go with both of those characters. Kick Vicar Max out of the crew while we're doing quests for these other 2
We are
people.
now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Alright, so apparently Trask is living out in the middle of nowhere in Emerald Vale, which I suppose isn't that much of a surprise, because if he was actually living in like a main town area, then I might have actually seen him. Oh, hello, it's outlaws. Let's see if they are leveled with me. They are not. Except they're very slippery, these outlaws. Nope, nope, that is not the button for looting. That is the button for looting. Yep, and these are level 5 weapons. That is A-okay. Because at the very least, they are dropping some experience. Primal. Huh.
Looks like we're doing this. You're going down.
I did not realize that he drop kicks his opponents. Nope, that is jump, not loot. The recently harvested primal hide is still wet and covered in skin parasites. Properly processed at a leather facility, it could be made into a nice pair of shoes or perhaps a jacket. Ground into a powder, boiled in water, then mixed with tobacco starch. Terry beak becomes a food additive with a gelatinous consistency, often used as a binding agent for processed meats, such as nuggets, borscht, etc. Nothing like a good flavor of a solid binding agent. But also, I didn't realize there were any of these primals on this planet to begin with. The first time first and only time I've seen primals in this game was on Scylla. But let us save our game because we've got this coming up. Why, hello, several people, several outlaws, and you.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
Good guess. That's right. Harlow said you betrayed him.
Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying.
Why did you betray Harlow?
How do I know that I can trust you?
The fact that I'm asking you questions? What's the worst that could happen? Harlow sends a stranger with a gun after you? If I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. What's the worst that could happen? Harlow sends a stranger with a gun after you?
Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him.
Actually, I don't think Harlow's actually told me anything.
Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in the
Oh yeah, handed him off to the board, informant.
Palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just
so Harlow claims that Trask is a board asset, and now Trask is claiming that Harlow is a board asset. You're asking me to take you for your word. Show me some evidence.
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task.
Yeah, there is. You're looking at her?
Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent.
Why would the board buy off Harlow?
Because he's for sale.
Oh, okay.
Anything the board can buy, the board will buy. And that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me.
And what was Harlow doing for the board?
Board sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
Huh. Alright, I've heard enough.
Take it you've made up your mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill you, Trask, but I'm going to ask you for your ring.
You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
The thing is, take care. I didn't even like Harlow to begin with. So... either way, let's also take care of Nyoka's quest out here, too. Alright, supposedly Nyoka's positioning data sends me over this way. Supposedly these people are alive. We're just collecting their medallions and bearing their medallions. Because apparently the band has been separated and there's no bringing them back together. That is the jump button again. Also, now I'm reminded of the tutorial for Portal 2, except now I'm just accidentally doing it. And what's going on here?
The outpost. Rebecca! Anders! Quick!
That is, this is playing it fast and loose, but I'm way too overpowered for these people. Which is kind of odd, because you have this quest line that you don't really pick up until you get to Monarch, and then it sends you back to the Emerald Vale, but it doesn't bother considering the fact that you are way more powerful than all of these people that you're passing by.
The door's busted. Rebecca? Anders? You in there?
In this building, surrounded by outlaws, for some reason. Huh. How do I get in? Oh.
Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it.
Ah, alright. Are they dead?
Oh no.
They're dead.
What did you do?
Oh, hell. I'm sorry, Nyoka.
This is the medallion you retrieved from Anderson's remains. It is inscribed with the letters Karen. And then this is the medallion you retrieved from Rebecca's remains. Why are they dead? Its display is faded, and the buttons are almost entirely rusted through, but you can still make out bits and pieces that will look like Rebecca's final entries. Law held me, but Anderson was right. We never should have taken this contract. I thought Monarch was bad, but this is unbearable. Everyone here is blind or addled or I don't know what. The towns won't let us walk in without an employment contract. I can't even find someone to let me send a message. For all the capable folk here, we're stuck. Back home, we had to fight for every meal because there were no meals that you didn't make yourself. Here, there's plenty, but nobody's allowed to give you one. We've been stealing bits and pieces of life from wherever we can. Anderson is about ready to sign up, offer his life in service to Spacer's Choice, just so he can take a shower. Clara, I hope to the architect this never reaches you, But on the off chance it does, I want to say I'm sorry. Anders and I fucked up. We didn't take the contract for the bits. We didn't take it because Primal sounded cool. We took it because we wanted out. Monarch's a living hell. We were sick of getting sick. Of boiled Raptidon and stinking like sulfur no matter how hard you scrub. Of fighting day in and day out. We're exhausted. We thought we could use the contract money to find a place here, settle down, but this place ain't any better. It's just different. We're starving all the same. We never should have left. I just thought maybe we could do better. I miss you, kid. Marauder's at the door. Anderson's bled out. I'm on my way. I won't let them get me. Not alive, anyway. I've seen what those monsters do.
They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you. The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses. Ugh. Or to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister.
Well, I'm gonna pick up this loot. Don't mind me. That is not a very good place to keep your documents. Just saying. Yeah.
At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth.
She'd still want to know, just the same as you did.
Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick.
I'd rather just go in there guns blazing.
No, we need a plan. You may be a capable sort, but so are my friends. I ain't making that mistake twice. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Are you saying that I have pheromones? Don't answer that question, actually. Also, frozen dinner? It's not the best dinner. It's Spacer's Choice frozen dinner.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
All right. I suppose I will eavesdrop on their heated discussion.
Hey, Max. Felix said you're acting crazy, saying we don't exist or something. He's just confused, right?
He may be confused, but that doesn't mean I'm not insane.
See, I'm all for chemical recreation, but you've been saying strange things ever since you did those drugs at the Hermit's.
Like the realization that our perception of self is akin to an optical illusion?
Now I can't tell if you're just doing this to try to get to me.
Alright, I guess let's head back to Scylla. Now we've got two things to do there. One for Felix's quest and one for Nyoka's. Alright, supposedly in Harlow's base, there is a ventilation shaft that has evidence against Trask. Not in there. These receipts detail payments made to C. Harlow on behalf of the board for freelancing services. Included are the names of several freighters targeted by Harlow's crew. They're manifest in the sum value of all cargo delivered to board authorities. So it wasn't actually it wasn't Trask that was working for the board. Harlow claimed that Trask was a board. Why would Harlow even bother then? Or is it because Trask knows that Harlow works for the board, so he's cutting off that loose end? All right, let's talk to Harlow here.
What's the word?
The word is Trask had a lot to say about you, Harlow.
Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life.
Trask told me you've been working for the board.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand?
You've been bought off. I've got the receipts.
Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for.
When we met, you told me Trask was an informant for the board. You were lying.
You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face.
You've got a lot of nerve lying to my face. Come on, Harlow. Why would Trask rat you out to your own employers?
How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me.
Why would Felix be on trial?
Poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Incoming!
Okay. I'm sorry I had to shoot your friend and make him explode. But I suppose that is the nature of being an outlaw. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello. And you. And you.
Let up!
Alright, you got something? No. Alright, I also wasn't expecting to end up shooting up the whole place, but again, Harlow is essentially a mobster working for the board. Not to mention, like, all the people who... Is it still stealing? How is this still stealing? I've killed everybody in this base. I can't just claim... I can claim everything on their bodies. I can shoot them, but the property is theft. Acquisitions log. Contraband, salvage cargo, ransomed crew. Crew joined up. Crew jettisoned an escape pod. As usual, we were able to intercept these ships, despite how cleverly they masked their heat signatures. Our patron pulled through again with that tracking data. Don't know how they get their hands on it, but we're in no position to refuse charity. Of course, their patron is the board. Crew, I'm beginning to wonder about our patron. When we opened our scanners and sniffed the system for our latest Wildcat, we picked up a signal from a corporate freighter nearby. It was hauling 10 times more cargo than our target. No sooner did we scan it than a message came through ordering us to go after the Wildcat instead. Something doesn't add up. Until I get answers, stay skeptical. Pirate code. Rule number 1, Harlow's the boss. Rule number 2, fuck the board. Rule number 3, why are you still reading, pig? Wake up. If you're seeing this, the board already owns you. You went looking for the rules. Why? Because life's a game to you? Maybe you like being played. You guzzle down that sense of security like it's purpleberry flavored opium. Fuck rules and fuck terminals. It's not a revolution if we're using the weapons they raised against us time and time again. From the front lines of the riots to the corporate sit-ins and error, Document Pirates Code has exceeded character limit. Yeah, business casual. Oh, there's part of Harlow over there. Ah, no, I stole. Don't judge me. Does it actually show in your inventory as being stolen? I suppose it doesn't. I think I was expecting an Elder Scrolls-esque morality system. But why would this game have that kind of morality system when the entire planet you're on is relatively immoral? Alright, let's see if we can kill these primals to acquire their pheromones.
Do this all day. Trouble. Gotta get past that armor.
Unfortunately, I'm suffering from N-ray damage. Drop kick! There we go. Oh, do I have to kill 3 separate primals? I think that's what's gonna have to happen. Alright, here is another primal for us to kill. Let's let our companions lay into it with an opening salvo.
Covering you. Crossbow kick.
And he's done.
Still got it.
That was actually really fast in comparison to the previous one. And lastly, one more primal and then we're done. Let's open up with Nyoka. Follow up with toss ball kick. There we go.
Best there ever was.
Alright. Now we're done here. Let's go back to the ship, talk to Felix more specifically.
Here they come.
Nope.
Not getting through.
Because that'll at least complete out Felix's quest, I believe. And then we'll worry about...
Watch this.
Ooh, is this a Mega Primal? Ah, you can get shots.
I was just getting started.
Alright, Nyoka, what do you have to say for yourself now that we've collected your pheromones?
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up?
These glands are gross. Take them, please.
Outstanding. These ought to be enough. let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon.
What's Karen?
Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon.
Oh,
He said it was
it is a
several-
literal acronym
something
for
about
this
death
group.
and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are.
All right, let's do it.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Aren't they always? This Ellie and Max engaged in heated discussions.
Max. Maximilian. Vicar. Vicky.
Yes?
Aw, this is no fun anymore.
Don't.
All right. Nope. Still no. There we go.
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
You're just gonna have to come to terms with that. You never really know what's going on inside some skull. Don't look at me, Felix. I don't think. I just shoot things. You're just gonna have to come to terms with that.
I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me.
I can understand why you're upset. You feel like he betrayed you.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that.
There's a bar on Edgewater. Ah, there we go. Get drunk for a start.
No kidding. I'm glad you keep the kitchen stocked. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. I don't know what I believe anymore. Maybe it's better that way.
Maybe.
Thanks for your time, boss.
What a mess! What a mess!
Did you need something? All right. I think this is where we're gonna stop for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.